Chosen One. Stop. This message did not reach you by accident. There is something shifting around your life right now. Something invisible but powerful. You may not fully see it yet. But heaven has already started moving pieces behind the scenes for you. For a long time, it felt like you were surviving instead of living. You kept giving, kept believing, kept waking up every morning carrying burdens. Nobody understood. There were nights you smiled in front of people, but silently wondered how much longer you could keep going. And still, you never gave up on God completely. Even when your faith became weak, even when disappointment sat heavy on your chest, a small part of you still whispered, "God, please do not forget me." That whisper was heard, because what is coming into your life is not random luck. It is not coincidence. It is not manipulation. It is divine favor, financial favor, unexpected provision, doors opening that should have remained closed, help arriving from places you never imagined. And the reason this blessing is about to feel different is because it comes after a season where you almost lost hope entirely. If you receive this word, type in the comments right now, "I receive it. My season is turning." Not because everything has changed yet, but because your spirit already knows something has shifted before your eyes can see it. Type it and let heaven record your agreement. God saw every hidden struggle, every delayed payment, every silent panic attack over money, every moment you checked your bank account, hoping somehow things had changed. Every time you told people "I am fine" while carrying stress you could not explain. He saw it all. And now, heaven is responding. Pause here for a moment. If that sentence just landed somewhere specific inside you, if something in you exhaled when you heard that heaven is responding, type 777 in the comments right now. 777 is the seal of divine completion, the sign that what God began in you is not abandoned. It is being finished. Every prayer you whispered when you were too tired to pray properly, every tear you wiped before anyone could see it, God counted every single one. Type 777 and let heaven know you received that. The strange thing is, many people around you still think your story is small. They have no idea what God is preparing to do in your life. They see your current condition, but they cannot see your future. That is why some people underestimated you. That is why others walked away too quickly. That is why certain doors rejected you. Because God was never going to let your destiny depend on human approval. The favor coming over your life will confuse people who doubted you. Not because you are better than them, but because grace cannot always be explained logically. There are moments when God chooses a person and says, "Now it is your time." This is one of those moments for you. You have entered a season where things will begin changing faster than before. You will notice strange opportunities appearing, conversations becoming important unexpectedly, connections forming naturally, ideas flowing into your mind at unusual times. Do not ignore those moments, because God often sends financial breakthroughs through instructions, through timing, through relationships, through courage. If you believe this season is yours, type in the comments right now, "God has not forgotten me. My breakthrough is close." Say it with the part of you that still believes even after everything you have been through. Because declaration opens doors that waiting alone cannot. And one of the biggest reasons your blessing is close is because you survived the season that was supposed to destroy you. Most people would have quit already. Most people would have become bitter. Most people would have stopped believing completely after facing what you faced. But somehow you are still here. Wounded maybe, tired maybe, confused sometimes, but still standing. That matters more than you realize. There is a reward attached to endurance. The enemy wanted you exhausted financially because stress clouds vision. Fear weakens confidence. Lack creates desperation. But even during the hardest moments, God was teaching you things money could never teach. He was teaching discernment, patience, wisdom, dependence on Him instead of temporary security. Because the version of you that is about to receive financial favor cannot think the same way you thought before. You are being prepared to handle increase differently. Some blessings delayed because your mindset needed healing first. Some doors stayed closed because your spirit needed strengthening first. Some opportunities disappeared because God knew they would distract you from your true assignment. And now you are entering a level emotionally, spiritually, mentally, that you may not feel fully ready for. But heaven says otherwise. Someone listening right now is still inside the exact moment this message just described, still checking their balance, hoping something changed, still carrying the weight of what they told nobody, still whispering the same prayer they stopped believing would be answered. They have not yet found what this message just gave you: confirmation that God heard every hidden struggle. This mission exists to reach them. Through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you can sow a seed into the work that sends this word to people who are still in the waiting, still in the silence, still wondering if God forgot them. A coffee, a one-time gift, a monthly place in the inner circle that keeps this message moving forward. This is not giving to a channel. It is the act of someone who just received confirmation choosing to make sure someone else receives it too, before the breakthrough arrives. Not after, because the seed planted before the harvest is the one that changes the timing. Bring with you, as you release this, the specific financial burden you have been carrying in silence. Not a list, the one that made you check your account that one last time, hoping something had changed. Hold it, and plant this seed as the first act of faith that says, God heard it, heaven is moving, and it is time to stop surviving and start believing. Your season is not as far away as the silence has made it feel. There is a reason you keep feeling this pull lately, this sense that something is about to happen. That feeling is not imaginary. Your spirit recognizes movement before your eyes can see it physically. God is already arranging things. Someone important is about to notice your value. An opportunity is about to find you. A financial burden is about to break off your shoulders. Something that has been delayed for too long is finally moving forward. And when it happens, do not minimize it. Some people sabotage miracles because they keep talking themselves out of believing. They receive a blessing, but immediately expect disaster again because pain trained them to fear good news. Do not do that. When favor arrives, receive it fully. You prayed for relief. You cried for answers. You begged God to make a way. And now the answer is getting closer. This next season will require faith because some opportunities may appear too big at first. But remember this carefully. If God opens a door for you, it means provision already exists for the journey. You do not need to have everything figured out immediately. You just need obedience. Sometimes, financial favor begins with one phone call, one idea, one meeting, one risk, one unexpected yes, and suddenly, your entire life changes direction. People think miracles always arrive dramatically, but often they begin quietly, very quietly. A small opportunity, a random introduction, a moment that feels ordinary until months later you realize that was the exact moment. God changed everything. You are closer than you think. That pressure you have been feeling lately, it is not only stress, It is transition, and transitions feel uncomfortable because your old season is ending while the new one has not fully appeared yet. That space in between can feel lonely, confusing, heavy. But it does not last forever. God did not bring you this far just to abandon you near the breakthrough. What is coming will restore parts of you that became tired from fighting for so long. You will breathe differently again, sleep differently again, smile genuinely again. Not because life becomes perfect overnight, but because the weight crushing your spirit begins lifting little by little. If you are ready to receive what God has been preparing for you, type 444 in the comments right now. 444 is the number of divine protection and foundation, the sign that what heaven is building over your life cannot be shaken and cannot be taken away. What the enemy used financial pressure to try to destroy, God is about to restore with interest. Type it now and listen carefully. When financial favor starts flowing into your life, stay humble, stay grateful, stay wise. Not everybody celebrating around you will truly support you. Some people only respect success after it becomes visible. Protect your peace, protect your vision, protect what God is building in your life. You do not need to announce every blessing immediately. Sometimes silence protects the seed while it is still growing. There is power in moving quietly with God, especially after everything you survived. Because this next chapter is not about proving people wrong. It is about finally becoming the person God always knew you could become. And deep down, you already feel it. Something is changing. Something is opening. Something is moving in your favor. The waiting season is losing its grip on you. Your story is not ending in struggle. It is turning into testimony, and very soon, the same people who watched you survive difficult seasons will witness God elevate you in ways nobody expected. If this message is confirming something your spirit already sensed, but could not fully name, hit the like button right now. Not for the video, as a signal to yourself that you are no longer agreeing with the old story, that the version of you that survives is making room for the version of you that thrives. There were moments when you almost convinced yourself that nothing would ever change. You became so used to disappointment, so familiar with delay, that hope started feeling dangerous. Because every time you expected something good to happen, life seemed to hit you even harder. So you learned how to protect your heart. You stopped telling people your dreams. You became quieter about your plans. You carried your struggles privately, because explaining your pain over and over again became exhausting. But even in silence, God was listening. Every tear you hid from others, He counted. Every prayer you whispered, half-heartedly, because you were too tired, He still heard. Every time you kept going while secretly feeling empty inside, Heaven noticed your endurance. And this is why your breakthrough will carry weight. Because it was built in private suffering. People often celebrate the blessing, but they never see the process that came before it. They do not see the nights you questioned yourself, the moments you doubted your worth, the fear of not having enough, the pressure of pretending to stay strong while your mind was overwhelmed. Right now, share this message with someone who is carrying exactly what this message just described. Someone still in the private suffering stage, still carrying it alone, still wondering when their turn will come. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do for someone is send them to the word that names what they have been unable to say. Share it now. But God saw every hidden battle, and now something extraordinary is beginning to unfold around your life. You may have noticed lately that certain people are slowly disappearing from your path. Certain environments no longer feel comfortable. Certain conversations feel draining now. That is not random. God is separating you from atmospheres that cannot carry where you are going next. Because financial favor is not only about money, it is about alignment, wisdom, peace, right connections, right timing. Some people only pray for increase, but they never prepare emotionally for what increase attracts. And listen carefully. Not everyone can go where you are going. Some people were assignments. Some were distractions. Some were lessons. But very few were truly meant to walk into your next season with you. That is why you must stop grieving every closed door. Some endings are protection in disguise. You cried over opportunities that disappeared, while God was saving you from environments that would have drained your future. You felt rejected, but heaven was redirecting you. There are blessings attached to your life that require separation first. And although loneliness hurt you deeply at times, it also strengthened your connection with God. Because when people disappeared, when support became limited, when nobody truly understood your battles, you had no choice except to seek God differently. That season changed you. You became more discerning, more careful, more aware of energy, more protective of your peace. And those changes matter, because favor without wisdom becomes dangerous. God is not only preparing to bless you financially, He is preparing you to sustain the blessing. There is a difference. Many people receive money but lose themselves afterward. They become proud, careless, impulsive, distracted. But your struggle taught you the value of provision. You understand what it feels like to pray over bills, to calculate every expense carefully, to stay awake wondering how things would work out. That pain created humility inside you, and humility attracts grace. There is also something else you need to understand right now. The enemy attacked your finances so heavily because money affects confidence. When people struggle financially for too long, they begin doubting themselves. They shrink their dreams. They stop taking risks. They begin expecting failure before even trying. That spirit of limitation tried to attach itself to you, but God is breaking it. You are not meant to live trapped in survival mode forever. There is more inside you than fear, more inside you than anxiety, more inside you than exhaustion. There are gifts inside you that still have not fully surfaced yet. Ideas, creativity, leadership, vision, and heaven is about to breathe on those gifts differently. What was just said about acceleration, God restoring in months what life stole in years. That is a promise, not a prediction. Promises respond to faith. And faith is not what you feel after the restoration arrives. It is what you act on before it does. Through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you can plant a seed into this mission right now, before the acceleration you just heard about begins to show up in your life, not after. A coffee, a one-time gift, a monthly partnership in the inner circle that keeps this word going. When someone sows before the harvest is visible, heaven reads that as faith without reservation. Not, I will give after I see, but I release now because I trust what is coming. That is the posture that acceleration responds to. Bring with you the specific area of your finances where you have been waiting the longest, the one where the delay has gone on past what feels reasonable. Hold it clearly as you plant this seed, not with fear, with the confidence of someone who just heard that God can shift a situation faster than any delay suggests. One moment can rewrite everything. Let this be one of those moments. You will begin seeing opportunities where others see obstacles. You will begin hearing solutions in situations that once confused you. Your confidence will slowly return. Not fake confidence, not arrogance, real confidence. The kind that comes from knowing God carried you through impossible seasons already. You are entering a time where your mindset must shift completely. Stop speaking over your future as if struggle is permanent. Stop expecting disaster every time something good appears. Stop assuming you will always remain stuck. Your words matter. The atmosphere around your life responds to what you repeatedly believe, and for too long, fear has been speaking louder than faith inside your mind. But that changes now, because God is restoring your ability to believe again. Not just spiritually, but practically. You will begin thinking bigger, planning differently, moving differently, dreaming differently. And yes, there may still be obstacles ahead. But the difference now is this: you will not face them alone. Favor will begin speaking for you in rooms you never expected to enter. People will help you unexpectedly. Opportunities will come faster. Certain delays will suddenly break. Resources will appear at the exact moment you need them. And some of it will feel almost unbelievable. You will sit quietly sometimes and think, how did this happen so fast? That is what acceleration feels like. God can restore in months what life stole in years. Never underestimate His ability to shift a situation quickly. One moment can rewrite everything. One blessing can change your entire environment. One opportunity can remove years of struggle. One connection can unlock doors no amount of stress could open before. And the beautiful thing is, you do not have to force what God already planned for you. You do not need to chase validation desperately anymore. You do not need to beg the wrong people to support you. You do not need to shrink yourself to fit into places God outgrew for you already. What belongs to you will find you at the right time, in the right way. Trust that. Type 1111 in the comments right now if you are ready to receive this acceleration. 1111 is the number of divine alignment, the signal that heaven is positioning people, timing, resources, and opportunities around your life in a way that will begin to feel almost too coordinated to be coincidental, because it is. Type it and declare that you are aligned for what God is releasing. There is also healing happening inside your heart right now that you may not fully recognize yet, because financial hardship affects emotions deeply. It makes people feel ashamed, embarrassed, behind in life. You smiled while secretly comparing yourself to others. You watched people succeed while wondering when your turn would come. But comparison was never your assignment. God writes different timelines for different people, and your delay was not your denial. In fact, some of the people you envied could never survive the process you survived. Your endurance built strength most people never develop. That strength will matter in the season ahead, because once favor starts pouring over your life, you must remember who carried you when nobody else could. Do not become arrogant when doors finally open. Do not forget the prayers you cried in secret places. Do not lose your compassion after you rise. Stay grounded. The blessing on your life is bigger than comfort alone. God wants your testimony to inspire people who are currently where you used to be. People fighting silent financial battles. People trying to stay strong while life keeps testing them. Your story will remind them that God still moves unexpectedly. Type 333 in the comments right now. 333 means you are not alone in this, not in the waiting, not in the financial pressure, not in the private battles nobody else can see. Every person who types it alongside you right now is carrying something similar. And heaven is watching every single one of you. You are not isolated. You are in a company of people whom God is about to move on simultaneously. Type it and receive the reminder that your story is not the only one turning. And very soon, you will look back at this painful season differently. Not with bitterness, but with understanding. Because you will finally realize God was never ignoring you. He was preparing you for the weight of the favor that is now approaching your life. And as this new season begins unfolding around you, one thing will become clearer than ever before. God was working even during the delays, even when nothing made sense, even when doors stayed closed, even when your prayers seemed unanswered. There were battles happening in the spiritual realm that your eyes could not see. Protection you did not recognize, redirection you misunderstood, lessons hidden inside painful seasons. What felt like punishment was often preparation. Because the truth is, if certain blessings had arrived earlier, they would have crushed you emotionally. You were still healing, still learning discernment, still discovering your true identity. And God loves you too much to release certain things before your spirit is ready to carry them. But now, something has changed. The version of you standing today stronger than before, wiser than before, more aware than before. You do not chase people the same way anymore. You do not ignore red flags the same way anymore. You do not panic the same way anymore. The struggle matured you, and although you hated the process while living through it, it produced strength inside you that could not be developed any other way. There is a difference between receiving a blessing and sustaining one. The person who is ready to sustain the blessing does not wait to act wisely until after it arrives. They start now, in the waiting, in the almost, in the moment, right before the shift. Through the link in the description or the pinned comment, plant a seed into this mission today. A coffee, a one-time gift, a monthly place in the inner circle. This is not giving because you have extra. It is giving as the first act of a person who knows they were built to handle what is coming. The version of you that survived everything this message named is not the same version that once struggled to believe. That person has been built into someone heaven can trust with more. And more begins with what you do now. Before the doors open, before the opportunities arrive, before the resources appear. Bring with you, as you release this, the dreams you buried that God never forgot, the ones that never fully disappeared. No matter how long the delay, hold them. And plant this seed as the first decision of the person God always knew you were becoming. The blessing is prepared for you. Begin preparing yourself to receive it. That is why heaven is preparing to trust you with more opportunities, more responsibility, more influence, more provision. Not just so you can survive, but so you can finally build the life God placed inside your heart years ago. There are dreams you buried because disappointment convinced you they were impossible. Plans you stopped talking about, visions you abandoned quietly after too many delays. But God never forgot those dreams, not once. In fact, some of those desires were planted inside you by Him in the first place. That is why they never fully disappeared from your spirit. No matter how much time passed, something inside you kept hoping, kept imagining, kept wondering. What if my life really changes one day? That feeling was not foolish. It was faith surviving. And now the season of surviving is slowly turning into the season of rebuilding. You will rebuild confidence, rebuild stability, rebuild peace, rebuild vision. There are financial opportunities approaching your life right now that will not look the way you expected. Some blessings may arrive disguised as small beginnings. Do not despise them. Many people miss divine favor because they only expect miracles to appear dramatically. But God often starts with seeds before harvests. A small opportunity can become generational wealth. A simple idea can become a life-changing breakthrough. One act of obedience can unlock years of increase. Pay attention during this season. Your discernment must stay sharp, because heaven may send instructions through moments that appear ordinary at first. You may suddenly feel led to start something, apply somewhere, contact someone, learn a skill, move differently. Do not ignore those inner nudges. God knows how to guide His people toward provision. And listen carefully. You are not behind in life. You only feel behind because you compared your journey to people whose assignments are completely different from yours. Comparison steals peace. It blinds people from recognizing their own progress. Look how far you already came. You survived things that nearly broke you emotionally. You endured seasons where giving up felt easier than continuing. You kept moving forward, even while carrying invisible battles inside your mind. That is strength, real strength. And now that strength is about to meet favor. That combination is powerful, because when someone who suffered deeply finally receives divine acceleration, they move with gratitude instead of entitlement. You will appreciate things differently now. You will value peace differently now. You will handle opportunities differently now. Your painful seasons changed your heart. Type in the comments right now, "My season is shifting. My blessing is close. I receive what God has prepared." Write it in full. Let it stand as a declaration before this message ends, because the atmosphere around your life responds to what you repeatedly declare. And this is the moment you stop agreeing with the old story and start speaking the new one. And one day, you will thank God for not answering certain prayers the way you wanted, because you will finally understand that some people had to leave, some doors had to close, some delays had to happen, not to destroy you, but to align you correctly. The life ahead of you requires a different environment, different thinking, different relationships. That is why your old season felt so uncomfortable near the end. Your spirit outgrew it. You started feeling disconnected from places that once felt familiar. Conversations became empty. Certain friendships felt forced. Certain habits no longer satisfied your soul. That discomfort was not failure. It was transition. And transitions are never easy, because God begins pulling you toward a future your current mind cannot fully see yet. But trust Him anyway, because where He is leading you carries more peace than the places you are leaving behind. The financial favor coming into your life will not only bless you materially, it will restore dignity. Some of you secretly felt embarrassed by your struggles. You carried shame nobody knew about. You felt frustrated watching others move forward while you fought to stay afloat. But hear this clearly. Your struggle never reduced your value. Money problems never made you less worthy. Delays never made you forgotten. Hard seasons never canceled your destiny. And God is about to remind you of that personally. Very soon, things will begin moving in ways you cannot fully explain. Resources appearing, doors opening, unexpected support arriving. Financial pressure easing little by little, and with every breakthrough, your faith will strengthen again. You will realize God truly was beside you the entire time, even in silence, even in confusion, even in delay. Especially there. So do not lose hope now. Do not quit during the transition. Do not allow temporary frustration to make permanent decisions for your future. You are too close to the shift, too close to the breakthrough, too close to the answered prayer, too close to the season you cried for privately. And when the favor of God fully pours over your life, stay humble, stay prayerful, stay grateful, because the blessing coming toward you is not only for comfort, it is proof that God can restore broken seasons, proof that delay is not denial, proof that heaven still opens impossible doors at the perfect time. And one day soon, you will wake up in the middle of your new life and realize something incredible. The season that once almost destroyed you became the exact season that prepared you for everything God was about to pour into your hands.